Hello, and thank you for attending the Vermont Historical Records Program virtual office hours for June 2025. The office hours are generously supported by the National Historical Publications and Records Commission and the Vermont Secretary of State's office. My name is Jane Cadwallader, and I'm the roving archivist for the VHRP. I am happy to present on a topic that is of personal interest of mine and hopefully encourage you to participate in promoting the work and collections of historical records repositories. This month, our topic is Archives Month, which occurs every October throughout the United States. We'll discuss what it is, a Vermont Archives Month theme, and ways to participate. Before we begin, I would like to encourage you to make any questions or comments you have in the chat during the presentation, and we will address them during the open discussion at the end when we will have plenty of time to talk about Archives Month and any other topics on your mind. You may be familiar with other awareness months and days like Pride Month in June and National PTSD Awareness Day 2025 on June 27th. There's even a National Cheese Day, which just happened on June 4th. Make sure to mark your calendars for the next year. They are periods of time to raise awareness and promote understanding of a particular topic or issue. Awareness events are often coordinated by organizations affiliated with the issue. Archives Month was first organized by the Society of American Archivists in 1999 as a week-long period to advocate for archivists, the work they do, and the collections they preserve and provide access to for the public and other audiences. By the early 2000s, it became a month-long event with repositories hosting outreach activities and highlighting their work. Vermont Archives Month is coordinated by the Vermont Historical Records Program with assistance from the Vermont Historical Records Advisory Board. VHRP and VRAB encourage participation at any level by organizations and information workers, including volunteers, to promote their work and holdings. In order to help encourage ideas for participation, we developed a theme for this year. And that is Archives Discovered. What are you working on or recently finished that helped you discover archival materials in your holdings? Did you just scan historical photographs and add them to your website or social media? Did you recently receive a new donation that adds a new dimension to your local history? Archives Discovered is purposefully broad and applicable to your activities and capacity. We all have a mountain of work and not enough time, but we are always moving forward with improvements, projects, and getting the word out about our respective historical records every day. Archives Month is a great opportunity to highlight your work and what's been happening at your site. Now let's talk about some ways that we can share this work. Archives Month participation is flexible and based on the capacity of your organization. You probably have some of your own ideas for how to engage your community and let them know about the valuable work your organization does to preserve and provide access to local history. But here are a few suggestions. Tours and open houses are popular ways to invite audiences in to see what you do. Consider a special behind-the-scenes tour to see your workspace or vault. Exhibits interpret the objects and documents we hold so audiences can gain new perspectives on history. One of my favorite suggestions from the American Association of State and Local Histories Program Handbook for America 250 is a label trail to connect an existing exhibit with a theme. This label trail could highlight the work that went into researching the exhibit and showcase historical records used to create it. Writing an article or blog about a recent continuing or future project is another great idea. Your organization may have a newsletter, blog, or social media page that can also be used. Also consider other regional and statewide forums. Last April, I attended the Making Connections event hosted by the Milton Historical Society. It was a regional expo of local historical societies and organizations. It was a great event to ask questions and see the diverse resources in the surrounding communities. You don't have to plan a large event, but consider collaborating with your neighboring organizations. Has anyone heard of Ask an Archivist Day? This is a national social media campaign that usually happens on a Wednesday in mid-October. Archivists take to their social media pages, especially Instagram, and answer questions about archives and what archivists do. It's a great way to interact with local archives and get your questions answered. I've made several suggestions for what you and your organizations can do, but what about the Vermont State Archives? The VHRP is part of the state archives, and we are promoting Archives Month and also planning some events. We would love your input on and for ideas for things that you would want to see from us. Whatever it's Whether it's for additions to the Vermont Archives Month website, programming that you would like to see, or ideas for promotional material, let us know in the comments or during the Q&A session. Speaking of promotion, here are some ways for you to get the word out. The VHRP hosts the Vermont Archives Month website. At this time, it has a blog and calendar of events, and we would love to post your blog about discoveries in your own repositories. The image on the slide also shows the submission form for any events you would like to add. Please submit any events you're planning so we can promote them. Also, consider any local platforms that reach the wider community, like Front Porch Forum or your town and library websites and/or social media accounts. Vermont Historical Society maintains a listserv that members can post events and other messages, making it easy to communicate with other local organizations interested in collaborating. And don't forget the handy flyer. Flyers are a great way to um, add information, low budget, and put it in places where people can find it, like on your co-op events board or at your library or town. Earlier in the presentation, I suggested some ideas, but there are more to be found. The Society of American Archivists maintains an Archives Month page with planning resources, event ideas, and other items. Archived materials from previous years are linked to the page. The National Archives and Records Administration posts blogs and events on their website. And another way to gather ideas and see how organizations participate is by using the hashtag Archives Month. You can look at posts from previous years for inspiration. Lastly, the Vermont Archives Month website is a local resource to help you spread the word about events and share your collections through the blog, which I mentioned in the previous slides. Contact the VHRP if you are interested in writing a blog post or have other ideas for sharing information on the platform. Thank you for attending this presentation, and we hope that it inspires you to take part in Archives Month this October. Events and activities don't have to be complex or costly, but they should be fun for you and your audiences. If you have any questions or want to discuss any suggestions or ideas, please reach out. I have added the VHRP email on this screen and also a link to the submission form. This PowerPoint presentation will be available to attendees. Thank you again and have a good day.